This week we are going to be looking at 2.1 more laser flashlights. The lights range in size from the tiniest laser flashlight I have ever seen up to one that has double the lumen output of any other laser flashlight shown on this channel. Shout out to Neil's Gadgets for sending me these lights for review. On the left we have the Lumentop Thor 3, to the right Next Torch T20L, and this little guy in the center is the Lumentop Ant-Man. The Thor 3 is certainly something to look at with those body lines, trits, and lighted tail cap. It fits about any 21700 cell, including the USB-C rechargeable type. An unprotected cell will also work, but it seemed a bit loose to me. It also came with the 18650 adapter. The modes on it are just high, low, and a double tap for strobe, despite whatever the instructions you got might say. For a laser, I think that's perfect. I like it better without the medium. And with the strobe being accessed by a quick double tap, I almost never get it accidentally. It will memorize high or low, but not the strobe. The Next Torch is a bit more unassuming on the outside, but it does include some useful features like a locking charge port in the tail cap, and it includes the 21700 battery, which you should note goes in with the positive toward the tail cap. The UI is high, medium, low, and strobe. The modes cycle in that order by a tap to the switch from the on position. They will not cycle if you click it on and off. The light defaults to high when you shut it off. When I opened the Ant-Man for the first time, I had one of those box of light moments. It doesn't seem like this should be possible. The weight, size, and balance of this light feel perfect to me. I'm not typically a fan of glowy stuff, but that blue ring in the center of the bezel is pretty sweet. The tail switch is an easy access, and it is a single mode on and off. The most impressive thing about it is how it feels when you turn it on. Sort of like holding a really long stick or rod of light in your fingers. The beam is so intense and solid it feels like you could poke something with it. Powered by a 14500 cell, which is a lithium ion the size of an AA battery. It's driving the laser at about 1 amp of current. I don't have a protected cell to try in it, but I doubt it would fit onto the beam. I told you one of these lights has double the lumen output of any other laser flashlight ever shown on this channel, and that would be the Next Torch. I tested it at 871 lumens, which is just shy of its factory rating of 900 lumens. That's double what even the Ace Beam W30 did, and triple what some of the other lights did. Of all of the lights tested, the Well-Tool W4 is still the Candela King, at over 2.4 million CD. However, the Next Torch is no slouch. It pounds out 1.35 million CD at twice the lumen output. One quick correction I need to make about last video's chart. I said that the Thor 2 put out an oddly low 443,000 CD. I made a mistake. Even though I tested it multiple times and got roughly the same thing last time, I retested it again now, and I got 780,000, which is more in line with the factory numbers. And the only thing I can think that possibly could have happened is I must have had it in medium mode for all of the tests. I apologize for that. Okay, right now, stuff's a mess. There's things piled everywhere, and I'm not cleaning it up. I'm not even picking that fly swat up off the floor. You guys are just going to have to suck it up because I don't have time to clean it right now. But let's look at the lights. Last time I showed you basically how laser flashlights work. It's a series of mirrors and a piece of phosphor and blah, blah, blah. The light, pretty much all the lights except maybe one we looked at last time work that way. These lights don't. If you look down the barrel of these, there we go. You can see that phosphor thing, but there's not really a mirror in the middle. And I think what they're doing instead is they're putting the laser underneath that piece of phosphor and then just using the glass lens to collimate. I think that's really a great plan. It actually isn't new. I mean, it's new for YouTube videos that I'm making, but it's not a new idea. I've never mentioned this before because I wasn't that happy with it, but years and years ago, well, a few years ago, a company sent me this, and it's one that works just like that. It's got the laser under a phosphor, and it was even zoomable. The reason I didn't mention it is this here. You see how nasty the color is? It's very yellow and very green. It isn't neutral white. I mean, it's yellow with some green in it. And I thought, there's just no way. I was like, there's no circumstance where I would ever really accept that. Now, in the meantime, let me show you what we get. This is the next torch, and it uses that type of, laser through phosphor. And it has a very, very, very pure white beam in the center, well blended color, and then at the very outside edges there is a little bit of a purpley color. Okay, and maybe I can turn it down some and you can see better. So really, really good color. That other one, no matter what position I had it in, it was that dingy yellow. So I think with this we're making progress. This time for our control light, I'm going to use my Microfire Excalibur H20. It's an LED light with an spherical lens, osram emitter, and the light recycling collar built into it. It's almost identical in spec to our laser flashlight because it outputs 300 lumens and about 1.2 million candela. Okay, Charles is he's gonna work on the tractor while we play flashlights from I don't know, either over there by my shed or out here somewhere. All set, buddy? So on the left here is our FW21. That's our like 2.1 million CD light. And on the right we'll do the next torch. Look up close here. See how this one's the next torch hot spot is like double or triple the size, and yet when we come out here it's not exactly the same brightness, but I mean just almost. If let's point at Charles, there's FW21, and then the next torch, like it, I mean, it lights up the whole tractor and him and the barn and everything else. And if I wanted to see down there, I can see that this hot spot is more intense, but it just doesn't really light up as much area, especially, whoops, great camera shot, huh? Especially, when it's pitch black out. Okay, here we go. Here's the Ant-Man. Now the Thor 1. The Thor 2. The Well Tool W3 Pro. Neil's Gadgets. Thor 3. The Well Tool W4. Next Torch T20. Mateman Co. FW1. And my LED light, the Microfire Excalibur. We can, of course, defocus the Excalibur, but I think that right there, the square, is our most intense spot.